After weeks of relentless assaults and tactical pressure, Ukrainian forces have finally sealed the ring around Kotlyne. With the encirclement now complete, they've begun the next phase of calculated clearing operations through the settlement's ruins, which is already forcing Russian troops to flee, surrender, or be vanquished under drone fire and airstrikes. Euromaidan Press media outlet reports. Ukrainians gradually dismantled the outer layer of Russian defences around Kotlyne and launched a coordinated pincer operation, capturing the northern and southern parts of the settlement using thunder run tactics. Now it was time to fully secure the encirclement and initiate a clearing operation to remove the remaining Russian forces from the settlement and consolidate full control of it. To halt Ukrainian advances and prevent them from gaining the operational initiative, Russians launched constant meat wave assaults all over the Pokrovsk front. Through these non-stop Russian assaults and the enormous Russian numerical advantage this caused, Ukrainians were forced back into defensive operations. However, the Russians could not keep up these tactics for long, as the Ukrainians positioned themselves to drain Russian reserves as efficiently as possible without losing their hard-fought gains, continuing to look for and create weak spots to exploit. Ukrainians had positioned machine gun squads working in tandem with recon and kamikaze drones to turn the fields in the front of Kotlyne into a kill zone where no Russians could pass. This allowed Ukrainian forces to successfully encircle Russian troops in Kotlyne by advancing into the town's southern outskirts and clearing the tree belt along the railway. The next step was softening up the industrial zone. Coordinated drone strikes targeted Russian positions in the industrial zone, forcing them into hiding in basement shelters. This was followed by JDAM guided bomb strikes from Ukrainian Su-27s, causing massive casualties in one of the few buildings in the industrial zone that were still standing. The combined pressure from drone and airstrikes inflicted heavy Russian losses and significantly damaged their morale. The intense Ukrainian pressure shattered Russian defences, and as casualties quickly ramped up and with no relief on the way, many Russian soldiers decided to abandon their positions and flee. Exposing themselves in the open fields, they were immediately detected by Russian drones and swiftly eliminated. Even minor movements between buildings were tracked in real time, leading to pinpoint strikes on Russian strongholds. In desperation, some Russian soldiers dropped their weapons, attempting to make it back to Russian lines faster. However, as they refused to surrender and would rather withdraw to fight another day, they were ultimately targeted and eliminated by a series of FPV kamikaze drones. Overwhelmed by the swarm of Ukrainian drones and without escape, several Russian soldiers opted to take their own lives instead, rather than wait for Ukrainian drones to finish the job.
Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin launched his fiancée Lauren Sanchez into space Monday with an all-female celebrity crew that included Katy Perry and Gayle King. According to Associated Press, it was the latest wave in space tourism, where more of the rich and famous than ever before, or lucky and well-connected, can enter the zero-gravity realm traditionally dominated by professional astronauts. The New Shepard rocket blasted off on the quick up-and-down trip from West Texas. The fringes of space beckoned some 65 miles up, promising a few precious minutes of weightlessness. Sanchez, a helicopter pilot and former TV journalist, invited the others along for the 10-minute, fully automated flight, packing on the star power with singer-songwriter Perry and CBS Mornings co-host King. Also sharing the ride were film producer Carrie-Anne Flynn, Aisha Bowe, a former NASA engineer who started her own companies to promote science education, and Amanda Nguyen, a scientist who studied planets around other stars and now advocates for survivors of sexual violence. It was the 11th human spaceflight for the Washington state-based company, founded by Bezos in 2000 after making a fortune with Amazon. Bezos strapped in for Blue Origin's first space tourist flight in 2021 and accompanied the latest crew to the pad. The celebrity launch was the nation's first spaceflight where women filled each seat. The only other all-female crew in 64 years of human spaceflight was back in 1963. That's when Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova launched by herself, becoming the first woman in space. Tereshkova spent 3 days off the planet. Even after the latest launch, women represent barely 15% of the more than 700 people who have traveled into space. Sanchez said she deliberately chose women to launch with her, each of them eager to inspire both the young and old to dream big, and even commissioned special flight suits.
4, command engine start, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower. Engine response looks good. Mach 1. Vehicle is supersonic. Engine back up to full throttle.
Supersonic. We have passed through max Q. Maximum dynamic pressure. That's when the vehicle, the stresses between the atmosphere and
ascent. Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon. Look. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my goddess! That's our pink moon.
that have popped out, those are to stabilize the rocket as it comes into land. Shortly thereafter, you will see the drag brakes that deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out. Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And all three parachutes reefing, and they write the sporty perception. There it is.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys. We'll see your babies.
Where are my babies?
They're over here. Go see them.
Where? Oh, we have to go
Right
there.
there.
Okay.
Katie! Woo!
What? I just have to have a moment with the ground. Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God. That was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I'm so proud. So proud of